So this is a heterogeneous group of countries, but what they represent are the largest emerging markets, the largest global South countries, so to speak. So since the inception of this group, the first summit that they had was in Russia back in 2009, and South Africa joined in 2011. So like you said at the beginning of the show, that this country is representing around 40% of the global population, and now 33% of the global GDP. So it's getting larger, and they also have very specific priorities, right? They wanted to have peaceful development. They wanted to have collaborations. They wanted to have sustainable growth. So this is what unites all these countries together. You know, despite the differences, this country group has remained very active in their economic activities. There are over $400 billion of trade within this bloc, and there are over $30 billion of joint investment projects within this country group.
Yan Liang, much of the success of BRICS must be attributed to China's spectacular growth. I mean, if we look at some of the recent figures, its economy grew from $6 trillion in 2010 to $18 trillion in 2021. And if we look at the group itself, I mean, there are countries which are struggling. We look at South Africa, for instance. Its growth rate is very, very low. But what kind of potential is there for other countries to partner with China to grow their economies as well?
Right, I think that's a great question. So first of all, I think, you know, what these countries achieved was they were able to set up the so-called New Development Bank back in 2014. And as you mentioned, this is a bank that helped to provide a counterweight, you know, to the traditional, Bretton Woods system that lend but impose, conditionalities on countries. So I think with China's leadership in this country groups and with their financing scheme, what would really help is that these countries will be able to have the finance to support their infrastructure, support their transport, utilities, energy transitions. So this would then really pave the way for sustainable growth. And again, China is large, but I also think that all these countries have their own dynamism. So all these countries can work together, right, to improve that growth for the collective good.